Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, here's a simple approach to live life without fear, and it starts with acknowledging that fear exists. Fear exists in life when the truth is missing. Only by seeing the truth of oneself, the unchanging truth, then the fear dissolves. If the truth is missing, fear is there. So let's accept fear is there. Let's not deny it. If you're denying the fear is not there, then your ego is even further stubborn. So let's accept fear is there. By the way, everyone has fear unless the person is awakened to the truth. That's a different scenario. If the person is not awakened to the truth. By the way, awakening to the truth is not an idea or not the visualization. Sometimes people think the mystical visual effect, they take it as the truth. Truth is not an idea or not a visual effect. Truth is simple and is a plain sight, and that plain sight is the consciousness itself. And the nature of the consciousness is conscious and empty. Empty. So visual effect is not empty. Idea is not empty. It's something, layers. So to see the truth, the layers must be discarded. So, okay, let's go back to the reference that the fear is there in everyone's life. Now, when the fear is there, we got to stop running away from the fear. We got to stop listening to the fear. We got to stand still and witness the fear. Just watching yourself when the fear resurfaces. And then have this question as a background to see why the fear is there and the fear is making you move, however the fear is making you move in your life. So the question is, why do I have this fear? Whatever fear is in the moment, you ask yourself, why do I have this fear? And when you ask yourself, then you see the answer. You see the reason for being fearful. So when you ask why, there's a reason. And when you see the reason, the answer, then use your answer by asking another why. Why is that important? So the second why is going to reveal the second answer, second reasoning. Okay, and this is the way to trace the mind backward. So you see the fear, you're asking yourself, why do I have this fear? Then that why is going to help you trace the mind backward to figure out the root cause of being afraid, the root cause of being in that fearful situation. So, trace your mind back, figure out the root cause of your fear. Once you see the root cause of the fear, that is a deeper conditioning. And because of that, there's a fear in your life. Now, what is that? Recognize that conditioning. The conditioning itself is a belief, by the way. The ingrained belief in you. And the ingrained belief is afraid of losing something. That's why you have fear on the surface level. So, losing what? So once you recognize the ingrained conditioning in you, which is the ingrained belief, why you hold on to the belief, why you allow your life to move with that belief, you ask yourself your question again. Why do I have this ingrained fear in me? And that why is going to help you trace your mind further back. And then you'll end up seeing lots of layers of fear. Ultimately, all fear boils down to fear of death. Fear of death is the ultimate fear, because when you don't exist, then there's no more fun for you, no more experience for you, no more upgrade for you. So it's the end of the fun. So end of the fun means no more ego as well. And the ego self hates the end, because the end means dissolution of the ego. And ego will resist the idea of the death. And ego always want to prolong the game. Ego doesn't want to end the game. So death is the ultimate fear, and ultimate death is feared by the ego self. So when you are tracing the mind backward, you see layers of fear, and keep going backward using the why. And that's the way to go to no mind eventually. And this is the way to understand the nature of the mind. This is the way to become a thorough of your mind. When you start to be thorough, and if you're unbiased, you'll understand the nature of the mind. You'll understand how the mind comes into existence and how the mind becomes a reality as an ego self. You understand that. Then loosening the ego is much easier this way. Loosening the ego means also letting go of the idea of fear. The life becomes simple. And when the life becomes simple, it's already less headache. But simplicity is not the end of spiritual practice. Simplicity is still a simple mind. Simple mind is still a fear, by the way. Not the end of the fear yet. Because the end of the fear, to get there, you have to see the truth. So when you understand the nature of the mind, then you cannot stop there. You still need to go further, dismantling the mind. So you have to witness yourself, and whatever friction resurface in your life, you have to witness, and you have to trace it back, like you're tracing the fear backward. And that becomes, when you are doing that work, you are making yourself thorough in going backward, which is understanding the mind. And if you are thorough, unbiased in tracing the mind backward, then that is a real preparation. And when you ask yourself, who am I? And that's where you click to see the truth. The who am I inquiry is needed in the beginning to see the ripples of the mind. And the who am I is needed after you have made the foundation, the foundation of dismantling the mind. And if that is there, the who am I is going to work at the end. Who am I is the point that you will click to see the truth, or the who am I will make you realize that there's more work to be done. The who am I is the make or break point. Okay? So, again, if you want to live your life fearlessly, you really have to face your fear. You have to investigate your fear. And that's the simple approach to dissolve the fear. Again, the real dissolution happens when you see the truth. Until the truth is seen, what is there is ego, and ego self creates that byproduct of the ego, which is the fear. So truth truth has to be seen to be free from the realm of ego and fear. Okay, I hope this video makes sense. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.